Exclusive interview. Hyundai North America CEO Jose Munoz. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, Wilfred. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about that chip shortage globally, first of all. And was this luck? Was it foresight that you managed to stock up in advance? And how long will your stocks last?
Well, first of all, I think this shortage has impacted everyone. And it has definitely impacted us as well. What happened is that if you remember, when the pandemic came to the US, it had already had an impact in Asia. And then we were monitoring very well what was happening in the global markets. And we saw that in particular in South Korea and also in China, the markets were coming back a little earlier than we initially predicted. So as such, we maintained our supply, and we decided that all the strategic components should continue to be purchased. At the same time, I think we've done a good management in terms of prioritizing the components, the chips, to the most important markets, being North America the number one. But still, we have a lot of challenges, and then we have to maintain and adjust the production almost on a weekly basis.
What can you tell us about discussions with Apple? Were there discussions? Are there still going to be discussions?
Well, definitely there were discussions, but the discussions have stopped. I have to say that obviously Apple is a great company, right? And then I'm not surprised that they look at Hyundai. Hyundai is a great corporation, vertically integrated with great quality of products and great technology. So I wouldn't be surprised either if they've been talking to other OEMs. But that's it. So far we have suspended those discussions.
So is it your belief that Apple definitely will be launching a car at some point with somebody, and also your belief that it now definitely will not be with Hyundai?
Well, I cannot comment on that. I don't know.
So, Jose, I'm kind of curious about the shift and the push into electric vehicles as well. I mean, as we do talk about things like chip shortages and how a company such as yours is navigating that right now, I mean, the tech that's going to be involved in EV deployment and all the materials, rare earth materials, for example, that are going to be involved in building out and deploying EVs and putting them on the road in a more mainstream way. How are you thinking about that? What does that mean for the supply chain and how you're going to be making those cars of the future?
Well, that's really a great question, right? So first, what we have to realize is that the market is moving there. So if we look at the J.D. Power results cumulative to Friday, we've seen the share of EVs has more than doubled versus last year. And we saw the same thing in 2020. So definitely there is a market demand there. When it comes to what happened within the environment, definitely the Biden administration has opened the door very clearly to the battery electric vehicle industry. And we've been in recent discussions within the industry about what are the consequences, how we should change our supply chain to support this demand. And I think a lot of good things are going to happen. Namely, in our case, for Hyundai, we just launched 2 weeks ago a new brand for battery electric vehicles, which is called Ioniq. And we took advantage to launch our first car within the brand, so-called Ioniq 5, which is going to be launched in the States this fall. So a lot of new technologies, chips, semiconductors, battery, so supply, production, a lot of these things are happening as we speak. And I think we are really ready, the best probably OEM within the industry to respond to this demand.
Which, of course, raises the question, if you make it, will they come? Especially when you think about all the infrastructure that needs to be built out to be able to charge all those EVs and make sure that people can do things like long-distance road trips and not have it be double the time of a combustible engine-powered car.
You are right. I mean, this is probably the biggest challenge for this market to develop is the infrastructure. But again, the U.S. government is very committed to support and develop the infrastructure. And also the OEMs, we are working on that. And then the way we're working is by increasing the range. So again, our Ionic platform is going to be able to provide more than 300 miles EPA, which removes a lot of the anxiety. And probably in the future with fuel cell vehicles, we're going to be able to make it to around 500. So together with the government, the infrastructure development, and the greater technology, I think we're going to help this industry to really boom.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.